I probably shouldn't be giving out the secret on how to get your blogs to rank almost immediately and dominate Google. But here we are. I'm finally giving it away. Also, shout out to my new dog, Samson. He's hanging out with us today along with Hunter. But I made a promise a couple of videos back. I made a video about Writer's End, and I wanted to tell you guys how good it really is. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact process that I've used to already rank a blog on the second page of Google. And you're probably like, the second page of Google, it's been up for 4 days or like 5 days. It's crazy. And I want to show you guys exactly how I did it. Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Barron from harrisonbarron.com, and in this video, we are going to be going over Writer's End, but more importantly, the exact step-by-step process that you need to follow in order to get the results that I have achieved. Now, I'm not going to claim that I'm a millionaire or anything like that, but what I am going to claim is I am dominating Google in so many different keywords, and I'm not that good of a writer, so if you're like, well, how do I do this? Or, I'm not the best writer, I can't do that. False. Now, if you have no interest in like how to actually write an article, you probably still want to watch this because this is going to show you guys the amount of work and effort that actually goes into writing an article that is going to rank on Google. Super important. So we're going to be jumping into my computer in a moment, and I want to share with you guys everything. But ultimately, if you don't know already, basically, anything after the first page of Google doesn't really exist. Nobody cares about what's on page 2. And I mean, if you're going to hide a dead body, page 2, and if you really want nobody to find it, page 3 are your best options. So that's really it. If your company is showing up on page 2 or page 3, you're basically not even online at that point. Yes, somebody could find you if they typed in your name, but like, you want people to find you based on searches, based on queries, right? They go to Google, they plop in some numbers or some letters, and Google spits them out what they think is a fair fit or a best fit for it. So this is exactly what we are going to be doing in this video. I want to share with you guys exactly how you could dominate that SERP or search engine result page. And you're probably going to land number 1. If you follow this step by step, I can almost guarantee you're going to be in the top 5, probably the top 1, because I want to share with you guys a little secret all the way at the end that will almost promise you 100% of the time number 1. So let's jump into my computer here. Also, the dogs are playing. I apologize. I don't want to kick them out. Samson's a rescue. They're both rescues, but Samson's the newest dog. He's a rescue, and he's hanging out with us. So let's jump into this here. So right off the bat, we have Writer's End. So if you've never been in Writer's End before, it is a phenomenal platform. Probably my favorite. Now, if you're probably thinking like, well, what's Writer's End? Why do I need it? Why is it so much better than any other platform out there? Well, the reason why it's better than any other platform out there is really nothing other than the fact that it's just going to allow you to structure your articles, to go do research, to fully understand what you actually need to do for your article. I mean, that's really it. At the end of the day, there's no secret sauce. There's nothing hidden. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done in all of this. But what's really important is the fact that you need to follow this step by step. And if you don't, you're probably not going to have the results that you really, really hope for. Now, if you're wondering like, Harrison, how do I even know that I could trust what you're saying? Let me show you really quickly. There's an article I just wrote on my personal website about Kajabi. If you guys know, I've used Kajabi for quite a while now. It's just an online training course platform. It's actually funny. I'm building a course for Kajabi. I'm going to probably host it on a different platform just because I don't quite need all of the features and functionality that Kajabi does have to offer here. So as you can see, I'm ranking for a couple different pages, but this one right here is the one that is currently ranking. So if I pull this up, I actually want to share with you guys when it was written. Now, I did just do a massive cutover earlier in August, but here it is, right? It is August 21st when it was published, and is currently August 25th, which is insane. So literally 4 days from the time I'm recording this video is how long it took for it to already rank. And you'll see here that if I pull up the average position, and I'm currently covering that, so I apologize, everybody, but you'll actually be able to see that I have already started ranking for only 6 keywords, which is fine. That's not a big deal, but the important part is not the 6 keywords. The important part is the fact that it's already ranking on the second page of Google for Kajabi blog, right? The average position is 13. Now, is this going to stay like this? I could almost promise it's going to keep going up. I'm going to share with you guys at the end how I know that. But for the sake of this, we are going to be going into Writer's Zen here. And I want to share with you guys the exact process that I used to get those results, because honestly, I think it's too simple not to share, but with this, you could literally dominate any result on Google. I'm firmly believing in that, because even if there's a website that has a higher domain authority, you could probably beat it anyway. So first things first, we're going to have to start out with a keyword explorer. Now, I am not going to be going and running this because it literally takes a couple hours to run. However, I am going to show you guys some of the thought process behind all of this. So in here, you'll see I have a cigar and bourbon website. I have obviously my digital marketing agency. You're going to see a variety of different searches on here. In here, you could go through and you could literally pick whatever you want. It really doesn't matter which one you go after, but you just have to find a keyword that you think you could rank for. So in this case, I'm going to just use managed service provider, because this is an article I am literally about to write, because I think I could dominate the #1 spot on here. So in here, you're going to see that the managed service provider keyword has 9,000 searches, or about 10,000 searches per month. The cost per click is about $38. Now, is this accurate? It's the best guess. Nobody has this information other than Google, but the important part is the information down here. So I want to see what is likely for me to rank. So there's a variety of different areas that I'm looking for: the trends, right, the volume, the cost per click, the word count, right? And there's trainings on all of this that you could go through. I do recommend checking it out if you do actually use this product. But there's two things that I really want to know. I want to know all in title. So that is the title of articles that have that keyword. So currently there's about 29,000 articles that have that keyword, and the keyword golden ratio. So I will hold this up here. So basically, the keyword golden ratio is something that you want to look for. Typically, if it's the further away from 100 it is, the better it's going to be. You'll see here all in title, right? It's just giving you the mathematical breakdown. And then you have your pay-per-click competition. Now, I would recommend pairing this with another platform, SEMrush, Ahrefs, even Ubersuggest if you choose to use that. But go through and start looking at this. And there's a couple things that you actually want to look for when you're going through this. It's not just the keyword. You want to take this keyword and you actually want to paste it into Google and see who's currently ranking for it and what they're ranking for. So in this case, managed service provider, right? Now, I know that I'm not a managed service provider, but my key and target market is managed service providers. So I could start looking around and seeing like, hey, what are they writing about, right? And I want to look for some telltale signs that say, hey, is this something that I should target, right? There's not that many words on this page, Garner.com. There are not that many. There's a good amount of words on this page. You could always use your little friendly SEO minion to find out. So there's 2,900 words on here. Yes, Wikipedia is on here. So I know that it's going to be a bit more competitive. But if the Wikipedia is ranking #3, chances are pretty good I could probably get to that at least first page, maybe even that #1 spot. And that would be very impressive. And on top of that, it's proof of concept for anybody that wants to work with us. So it's going to tell us right here, keyword difficulty is a 44 out of 10. All you have to do is click it. It's just going to give you all the data that you want, right? Here's the average trends per month, overview SERPs, right? Now that I've figured out the keyword, and I've already kind of pre-done this, just so you know, because this data would have taken hours, I could see insights, right? So what are managed service providers? What is a managed service provider? Why managed service providers? So just getting the wheels turning and thinking, hey, I should probably answer a lot of these questions in my article. And then you have your clusters here. So clusters are just going to be clusters of keywords that it thinks would pair well with that specific keyword. So we have managed service provider, right? Managed service provider meaning, managed service provider IT, MSP, right? It's just going to keep giving me good feedback. And this is all really, really good information that I'm going to need. So now that I have the keyword kind of explored, now I could start to do some topic discovery in here. So if I wanted to, I could just go into and type managed service provider. I'm going to hit search, and now it's going to spit out a bunch of data. So it usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes for this process, so I will see you back right now. Alrighty, we are back, and this is going to just give you topics. Now, I already knew what topic I wanted to write about because I Googled and I just saw that there's probably a lot of opportunity there. However, if you're actually looking to go write an article, this is going to be the best spot, and you're like, hey, I'm not really sure what to write the name of the article. This is exactly where you need to be, right? Managed service provider. We have what is a managed service provider, and it's going to give you a bunch of headlines. Relevancy, high, right? Perfect. That is exactly what I want to see. And I could literally go through and I could start to search around, and it's going to tell me like, hey, these are from other articles. You might want to use these, right? Headlines to consider, Google suggested insights, right? So as you're typing, this is what's showing up in Google. It just makes your life so much easier. Stop making your life difficult. Make it easier. So you can go through here. It's pretty self-explanatory, and you could just look massive DDoS attack against DYN DNS server knocks. It's just going to give you as much information as humanly possible. Also, I apologize. It is allergy season at the max right now. So if I sound a little nasally, I apologize. But in here, you can go through, you could see everything that you're going to want. Now, this one has a little star. It's just a supportive topic. It doesn't quite necessarily mean that it is going to cover that managed service provider. But here's a good idea, right? You have managed service provider versus managed security service provider, right? So that's probably going to be an article that I'm going to tackle down the road. And in here, you're going to just have your topics. Once you have your topic, right? We could start to go back into the core area, which is content creator. Now, I've already started to pull all of this information here, and I've already fired up a new one. But simply, you would just go add an article, and you could start writing this. You're going to go into the article, and now, once again, I've already pre-done a lot of this work, so you don't necessarily need to do it. But if I didn't do that, I'm going to show you exactly what you would need to do. So in this case, I'm going to do managed service provider. My name. This is going to be, there's no priority. It's really more of a priority if I was hiring writers and what priority level to do it. And I'm going to give this 2 or 3 minutes to pull all of the information from competing websites. And right off the bat, it is going to give me a bunch of great information. So basically what this has done is everything that we've already seen, right, through that SERP page, the search engine result page, is what it is actually giving me. But here is where the secret sauce comes into play. Now that I could see all of my competitors' information, now I could really start to make a really, really bomb article. So it's going to give me a little warning, right? 30% of this first content on Google is only articles. So that means the other 70% is not articles, which means it's probably going to be a little more competitive and a little more difficult to lock in that #1 spot. You have to keep in mind, though, when you're creating an article or a blog post on a different topic, there are hundreds of other keywords that you could rank for. So I have some articles that are ranking for 250, 350 keywords. Some articles only rank for 100 keywords. But that's fine. So I could write this one article that might be 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 words long, and I'm going to rank for maybe 500 because it's going to be on the longer side, different keywords that I'm going to show up on Google for. So just because managed service provider is taken doesn't mean I can't have the ability to rank for hundreds of other keywords in here. That is the best pro tip ever. They are bonus keywords. They're not the keywords that you were going after, but you're going to show up for them anyway. So back in here, this is the coolest part about it, right? So now I have to craft a headline and craft a description. So in this case, right, these are the headlines, these black areas right here. So I just want to come up with something kind of catchy, right? So what is a managed service provider? Let's just, what is a managed service provider and what do they do? Right? Or everything you need to know, right? I like that too, everything you need to know, because this is going to be a longer article. I'd be sugarcoating it if it wasn't. And it's already giving me some information here. So if I want to rank, I need to be about 75% higher than all of my competitors. But if I want to be in the top 90% or top 10%, I need to write at least 1,800 keywords with 7 images, 7 paragraphs, and 7 headings. Now, I already know, because I've already structured this article, this is probably going to be 3,000 to 5,000 words, and that's totally fine. And in here, I'm going to be able to click on it, and it's actually going to give me the breakdown of everything I need to know. So I'm going to skip the description for this because that's something that I need to write the article for to really kind of craft and hone. But what I do want to look at is all of these headings in here. So I could just click on these headings and it's going to fill in that heading for me. But the more important thing is I want to actually move this over to my headings too. I'm going to actually change this back. So what is a managed service provider? Please disregard the capitals. And what do they do? So now I can go into the headings and I could just start grabbing different headings from all of these articles, right? So what is an MSP used for? I can do another H2. So how does MSPs work, right? And it's just going to allow me to go through. And the reason why it's already pre-labeling this as an H3 is because it sees it in here as an H3. This person did not structure their article right. That is a major red flag to say, hey, if you structure your article right, you could probably rank higher than these people. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to start pulling information from all of these other areas. I don't need to start copying and pasting all of their information, but I want to see all of the information that I could possibly get out of this, right? What are the benefits of an MSP? So I'm just going to copy that over. I'm going to copy this over, right? And I just want to go through and grab as many of these great areas that I possibly can to make my life as easy as possible. Once I already have my structure, now I'm going to save and set up the keywords. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to bring me to the next area where I could start to grab certain keywords. So it knows that I want to go after managed service provider, but there's a lot of those bonus keywords that I could build into this. So in here, I could just do managed service, right? I know that that is probably going to be in here a bunch, and it's going to tell me how many times I should use it at the minimum, right? We have service provider, we have managed service provider, right? It's the same thing, so it'll probably knock out those two. Maybe some software development in there because they do that. Cloud consulting, they do that. Small business is probably going to be in there as well. And then you're just looking for the relevancy on all of these areas, right? That's really what you're doing. And anything that's golded means it's going to be in there no matter what. You don't have a choice. And then you're going to save and begin writing. Once you figure out all of your keywords, save and begin writing. And now I could go through and start to add all of these in here. So I could copy all of these to the editor, and it's all the hard work is done at this point. I don't need to do anything else, right? I could just go through and start writing, lorem ipsum. And once I write this entire article and I knock out all of this little checklist up here, so how many words? It's telling me I need 1,820 words, right? It'll even give me the analytics and any errors that I currently have, any headlines, any paragraphs, and any images. So it currently believes that if I keep all of these topics or all of these headlines right here and I add 1,800 words, 7 paragraphs, and 7 images, the likelihood of me ranking is already very high. Once you do that, it's just a matter of posting it and letting Google do the work. Now, I don't ever recommend doing the bare minimum. However, I do understand that writing is a process that you have to figure out. So my key and recommendation on this would be, if you're struggling with your writing, do the minimum on here. Do the minimum that allows you to rank in the top 10% or maybe top 20%. And then after that, save it, post it, and revisit it again in 3 to 6 months and go back and adjust and modify and tweak your writing. And this will drastically help you as far as your growth online and allow you to rank way faster, way more ahead than your competitors, and ultimately dominate that SERP page. That is literally the entire process. Now, in order to rank number 1 on Google, or really fast on Google, is you can't just write one article. You have to write more than one. And this is the secret that I was promising. I already have 3 or 4 Kajabi articles out there, so I know that Google recognizes me as somebody that likes Kajabi and uses Kajabi, and my platform is already on Kajabi. So because of that, Google already knows and says, hey, Harrison already has some credibility in this area. Let's just hit him with the second page and see what happens. And I know over time, because my article is way better than any of my competitors, it will rank number 1. That is just a time thing. I've had articles that I've posted rank number 1 on the first page of Google, and I've had articles rank on the page number 5, and they move drastically fast through the process. There's a lot of other factors that go into this: the age of your website, how long you've been doing this, how good of a writer you are. I'm not the best writer in the world, but I can sit down, I can bang out a couple thousand words at a sitting, and ultimately that is going to drastically increase my chances. Now, if you're not a good writer, here's another pro tip. Just do it. And the more often you do it, the better you'll get at it. And after some time, you're going to be like, oh my God, I finally get it. I finally understand how to break this out and how to process it. And this process, with you being able to break it out step by step, makes it so simple, right? All I have to do is write about a paragraph of what are MSPs used for, right? And I could just go through and talk about how they support small businesses. This is the world I came from. I'm already an expert in this world. I just need to share it with other people. And this is the entire process. So I hope this video helps. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, little notification bell. This is the most secret of sauce I could possibly give away without doing the work for you. So if there's any video that you want to watch, if there's anything that you've ever seen out there, this is probably going to be the best one. I haven't seen anybody else give out this kind of resource, this step-by-step exact process that you need to follow. Links, as always, are down below, and I appreciate you guys. I'll see you later.